Hola amigas! If you're going to be visiting Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, we highly recommend a day trip to Las Animas. We're Bridget and Sandy Spurgeon, and on this video, we're sharing our recent hike along the coast from Boca de Tomatlán to Las Animas.
And to get there, you're going to need to take a bus from Puerto Vallarta, Zona Romántica, which is in the southern part. That'll be at the OXXO, which is a convenience store, at the corner of Constitucion and Basilio Badio. That will take you about 35 minutes to get to your final destination, which is Boca de Tomatlán. It's 10 pesos a person to get down there. Once you got there, we started taking some video of us walking around here. We did make a stop at the public baño, which is the bathroom, and public baños in Puerto Vallarta do cost money. It was 10 pesos a person. So once we finished up there, we were on our way for the hike.
And this little area here, as you can tell, is absolutely stunning. It's a little inlet on the coast where this is a little river that meets the ocean. You can see all the water taxis here, some little restaurants and little shops along the way.
And this was the bridge. We had to go a little ways down to find it. This is pretty much straight out of Indiana Jones. It's a swinging bridge, wooden planks, pretty well built, but I did jump a little bit there a couple of times just because guys are wired to do that sort of thing on bridges. It freaked Bridget out, but it was still fun. And this was just a fun experience going across. There was a little sheep in front of me, you'll see in the video here in a second, that I followed behind.
I just think it was so funny that someone was carrying a sheep and had a sheep on a leash, just like they would have a pet dog. So I think the sheep was actually their pet. There you can see the sheep over there.
I think the sheep actually obeyed the owner like a dog would as well. So here we're actually on the trail, and this is the beginning of the trail. It was many different surfaces. It was rock, it was dirt, it was cobblestones, as you see here with a little bird running around.
The first part, we basically went past all the little houses on the inlet coast here. So we're just really in the communities. You had kids playing and pets and animals, chickens along the side. Obviously, gorgeous, gorgeous view of this little coastal town.
And you see some boats out there. There is a dock that went out from where we started on the other side before crossing the bridge. Those were water taxis, which you could take to get to our final destination, Las Animas, Playa Las Animas, the beach there. But we decided to do the hike first, and we'll talk about the water taxis again in a bit.
So here we continued the hike. We highly recommend wearing some hiking or walking shoes. I actually had both with me, and at one point I had because I just swum, so I had my flip-flops on, and I actually had to switch them out. So here you can see Sandy, he's got his walking shoes on there. Definitely a good challenge. You know, Sandy and I are hikers. I mean, obviously we've climbed mountains and things like that, so we definitely enjoyed the challenge of this hike, the different terrain. Here you can see a little bit of a jungle feel as we're going through here.
And this was actually one of the smoother parts of the trail. There were some parts that were very uneven and very tricky to navigate. Just because of narrowness, a little bit of drop-offs here and there. We never felt unsafe, but it would be easy to roll an ankle on certain places, so you do have to constantly look down.
So this part of the hike, we're coming up on the first little beach, and this beach is Playa Colomitos, and this was definitely probably the favorite beach that I experienced along our trek here. There you can see I had a great swim in the ocean. The water is just so clean. There were a boat or two because the water taxis will take people to the little beaches. But we spent, about 30 minutes on the beach or maybe a little bit longer and really enjoyed that. There's a restaurant over there that was open as well.
I think it's actually a drink kiosk. But no.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so we started going back up, and there were some of the bridges we get to go across, and there were some missing planks. And yep, so like I said, you have to look down everywhere. And coming up here, I think this is the Bridge of Contentment. And so these series of bridges, that's the view from it, which I guess is where they get the contentment from. But it's a rickety bridge, and you have to look down or you'll step in a hole.
Everywhere, just the views are gorgeous along the coast here, and I just loved these little beaches that obviously are not commercialized. You see a few people on there because the water taxis will take you along, and you can just stop off at the little isolated beaches.
So here we're on this was more of a man-made section of the trail. There were some parts that were actually concrete, and you saw some cobblestone earlier. So this was actually kind of like the luxury portion where we got to walk along on even surfaces.
In the distance there, you can see some hotels, some I imagine very expensive hotels there. This was another beach. This is a longer beach, and once again, not a lot of people here. There were a couple of food places. They could tell that they served food, but this was just a wide open beach, actually.
Yep. Yeah. So this was a very, very unoccupied beach. The first beach where Bridget swam was more occupied. This was just a area of beach where we were kind of by ourselves. There was a group of kids playing volleyball, but other than that, it was pretty much ours.
At this point in the day, it was really hot, and that's one thing I recommend is getting out and getting started, especially if you're doing the hike, as early as you can in the day. We're not like huge sunscreen people, but I would recommend taking some healthy sunscreen with you. After about 2 hours and 15 minutes of hiking, which did include our stop at the beach, we arrived at Las Animas. As you can see here in this picture, definitely a tourist attraction beach. There are restaurants along there, probably about 8 restaurants or so.
Yeah, we actually ate at one, and it was about 200 to 300 pesos on average per person.
Then we walked along the beach, lots of things to do. Swimming is great there. You can rent a kayak or a paddleboard. There's horseback riding if you want to take a hike to a waterfall or to some other beaches along the coast. But yeah, we just had enough of sun for the day, I think, and so we got a water taxi to head back to Boca de Tomatlán.
And it was 100 pesos a person. That's the weekend rate, we think. Nobody gave us it. We tried to negotiate, didn't work. Someone on a YouTube video had gone on a Wednesday, and it was 50 pesos for them. So again, we're pretty sure that was the weekend rate. But definitely it was worth it for 100 pesos to take the quick 10-minute trip back to where we all started.
Yeah, a great view of the coastline there. You can see the houses, resorts, a restaurant here and there along the coast. Also just great to view the portions that we hiked earlier on in the day. And then just get to see the beautiful inlet as you come back in to Boca de Tomatlán. What a gorgeous view there, looking at the mountain, all the greenery, definitely idyllic. So thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on social media through Bridget Spurgeon, and we wish you many blessings on your travels, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.